going on, world? You know, I'm gonna tell you some funny shit, bro. I'm over here setting up the live. So when you set up YouTube Live, the camera automatically puts on selfie mode and it has it faced you, towards you. And I'm over here sitting in the chair setting up all the logistics, looking down. I'm like, who the fuck is this, bro? I had like the grumpiest morning face. Bro, I ate breakfast. Don't get me wrong, I ate breakfast, some rice and some leftover chicken and shit. But I'm over here, brushed my teeth, showered, everything, and then all of a sudden I'm looking down. I'm like, bro, who is this? I'm looking at my own face. Who I was. I recognized the beard part, but the rest of the face, I didn't know who that was, bro. So I guess that's how I'm looking in the mornings, even after showering, even after hitting the lotion and whatnot. Roscoe, what's good? What's going on, Roscoe? Trying to stay motivated every day, man. Every morning, you know. I might grab this coffee. Last time I grabbed the coffee, man, I really had to use the bathroom, and I got I got a lunch thing. My friend's in town, so I'm gonna meet up with him closer to 12. Chop it up with him, get some stuff. How's it going? Morning. Um, just kick it with him. I don't know. I don't know when he leaves. I don't know if he's leaving tomorrow or day after. I forget what he said, but I'm gonna go meet up with Brett. Maybe I'll try to, hook him up with some good food spots in the area. Excuse me. And yeah, get it started like that. Get things in motion like that. Maybe that's what I'll do. That's what I'm thinking for this morning, man. But yeah, I was really hyped up. Oh, look at this. Hold on. Damn. Is this a bobblehead? I want to ask him if it's a bobblehead. Okay, I don't want to play with it. It might be a camera. It might be a camera. It looked like an owl bobblehead. You see it? If I see the neighbors next time, this is my block. Like I live on the other side of this block, but if I see him, I'm gonna ask him. Like, yo, is this a bobblehead? Go on this side, man. I need some sunlight. Yeah, as soon as I wake up, I see my own face, and then my knee just feels all messed up. Good morning, Cash. Good morning, Cash. Wake up every day. Like there's something to do. Look forward to something. Look forward to yourself, man. That's where I'm at right now. And it was a struggle to get to this point. Let's be honest. But here we are, man. My message to all my young people, man. All my young people. Life is worth living. Life is worth living. Get through the winter. You find days like this, man. Unless you're in Alaska. I went to Alaska, bro, but I went in the summer time. Alaska, it was like June. It was like end of June, start of July, in that era. You love fishing. You love fishing? Hey, man, what's going on? Hey to you too. How's it going? Appreciate you dropping in. I went there. It was in Bethel specifically. Went to Bethel, and it's kind of up there near the North Pole, sort of. A higher part of the little country areas, the rural areas. And we went there in June and July. We did a little workshop when I was organizing, and then me and my friend was like, let's go to a little beach. Now the beach over there is gravel. It's not like sand. So we're at this gravel beach, and then we're just trying to skip rocks. We're just hanging out. And like you see how the sun is right here, how like it's right above us. You see how clear the skies are? That's what it was looking like. And then she's like, damn, what time is it? We got to go back to the hotel. So we looked at the time. It was midnight. Looking like this, the way it is right now, how bright it is, it looked like noon, but it was midnight. Sun was right above us. It was kind of warm. I was like, what the fuck? So we went to the hotel, and then we talked to the person. I was like, well, is this normal? He's like, yeah, it's like this every day. That's why in the summertime, you put those black curtains inside the room, block out the sunlight, because it's going to be like this for 24 hours. I was like, hold on, so what's it like in the wintertime? It's like a complete opposite. I was a complete opposite. I was like, yeah, it'd be like that for about 3 months in this area. If you go farther north, it's going to be worse. So I was like, bruh, that's crazy. Let's see, Ben Allen, what's good? Oh, no. Well, Ben Allen, good luck with that, man. No judgment here. No judgment here. You're here to talk crap about color folks. Man, why you got to do all that, man? Hey, what's funny? Lachlan's channel. You just got said, oil up and also, hell no, man. You goofy. But I'll tell you what, man. I had to put the lotion on earlier. and I put oil in there to make so I can use less lotion. I'm one of those. I actually have eczema, so helps up. Oil up, nah. But listen, Ben and Lachlan, let me know so that way I can get you guys out of here. I'll get you guys out of the chat sooner than later, man. But yeah, just let me know. I'll get you guys out of the chat sooner or later. Let me know what we're doing today. But yeah, Cash, I might just grab me a coffee. I had I just had some leftover it's actually a chicken kebab kind of thing on a stick. Just took it off, put it in some rice or over some rice. I don't know, just reheated it. It was something simple, some orange juice, stuff like that. And then I just what I do. That's all I had. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had. And yeah, you bet it's fried chicken. You probably do bet on that. Like I said, man, just keep letting me know where we at with it, where we stand with this, so I can get you out of here. All right. Let me know, Ben. I appreciate it. Appreciate you dropping in nonetheless. You know, hey man, every view and every like helps, man. That's how we do in the mornings. In the mornings, right? I be cranky. Not at all, man. Woke up on a good note today. You know what I'm saying? Let me know where you're at, man. Let me know. Are you outside typing this up? Are you stuck in the house right now, man? We got to get you out the basement, man. Hey, Poppy can't help you on that, but you got to get yourself out the basement. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers indoors too long, looking for people to type and talk to. How much you getting paid an hour to do this, man? Let me know. Are you in jail? Well, damn. Good luck with all that, man. I know you got a couple poppies in there in jail. With that type of energy. Hopefully, man, you can switch that energy up, man. Hopefully, you can put that into something productive, man. The same way you got time to, thumb all of this out with your thumbs. Hopefully, you got time to do something for yourself, man. Hopefully, you got time for that. I don't know them people. Hey, man, I don't know them people, Ben. But try to flip that energy, man. I said every time people show up in the chat on some goofy time, try to switch the energy, man. Put it to yourself a little bit. I mean, I hope that let's say that hopefully you blow up at some point in the future, and you could look back at this year and be like, yeah, that's when I started my comedy career. I was trying to have fun and troll on people's lives. That's when I realized I should have did it. Let me know if you got your life purpose right now. I know you in jail, right? I know you in jail with Diddy, but let me know when you figure out the life purpose, man. Saying I'm here for people figuring it out. This might be what it looks like in the beginning. Yeah, the Scorpion and Fox is pretty cool, man. I don't know which one I like more. I might go for the Scorpion just because it has Zap. I kind of want the what's it called? I don't want the what is it, Zap in 070? 070 is gonna be kind of cool actually. That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, Eternal, what's going on? Ben makes money off of trolling. Hey Ben, I'm happy for you, man. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what your career path is. I don't know what your whole thing is, but if that's what you do, hey, I ain't even mad at it. But just know when you bring it here, I'm gonna have you try to look at it a certain way because I don't know you and I don't know your content. But yeah, you got 35 an hour for it. All right, bro. Let's go on Eternal Light. That's my guy right there. Stream is being shown live on your channel. That's what's up, man. I appreciate it. Ben. Go ahead. Really like Fox's design. Kind of just want it for collecting. Haven't read much on what's going on with it. Try to get two. It's a nine-tailed fox, so it's 9 blades. Oh no, put this down right here. It's supposed to be like a nine-tailed fox, or that's the what do you call the myth or whatever. That's the myth. Yeah. Yeah, I was just walking and I'm losing my breath. I haven't worked down hella. That's how I know. That's crazy. Let me know how the reception is. Hold on. It says we got 3, so we're good. Yeah, try to get 2 of everything, Cash. Try to get 2 of everything. I actually ordered 3 Scorpios because I wanted one for collecting and just in case I needed like a spare one, whether it was the launcher or the parts. It's nice to have extra parts. I ordered extra golems for a reason. I needed extra under needle because when I found out Mars lost theirs, I was like, either I'm gonna give my spare to Mars. If I don't give it to them, then I'll just have a second one on hand. But Cash, you haven't met Mars. Mars is a blind blader. They come through on Sundays usually. They've been to a few events and they got pretty far. Their main blade is Mandalorian, which is pretty cool. How's it going?
How are you today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good. What can we do for you?
Could I do just a 12-ounce Americano? Yeah.
So like that hot or ice?
Hot, please.
You got it? Any cream or sugar in there?
No, just black.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
413 is your total.
Okay. You go to Gonzaga?
I did.
Nice. Yeah.
There you go. I'll have it right out for you.
Were you there the year that they went to the finals? Do you remember that year? Like 5 years ago or something?
With Jalen Suggs?
Yeah. Ooh, that was a good year.
Yeah, it was a good year.
Do you know if Drew? I mean, I don't know if you follow it, but do you know? I don't know if you follow it. Do you know if Drew Timmy's still there, the center?
I do not.
Okay.
I actually don't extremely follow. I follow the women, but
yeah. Okay. Yeah. The women did pretty good though. They had a pretty good year. They had a pretty good year from what I remember. Yeah. Well, I think they said so they said they could see light, Cash. I hope to meet more of them. I was thinking of popping up Saturday. Oh, Saturday. Also, there's two things going on Saturday. So if you come out to the convention, and then there's the other one I think in Auburn. So maybe there's a lot of people going to Auburn though. So a lot of people who didn't want to buy the pass ended up going there. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah, it'd be dope. You get to battle with some other people, at least test out some stuff. And I think it's like a legit event. Like I don't know if it's actually ranked or whatnot, but actually I gotta look into that. I don't actually know. Gotta look into that a little more. But my bad. I don't know the specifics, but she was saying that, or excuse me, they were saying that they can see light, so they're not like fully blind, but they're able to see like light and like a little bit of movement. But they do have a walking stick. And then there's like there's a difference between a walking stick that's red and a walking stick that's all white. So they have a red one. So I wonder if it is. That's a good question. I think it has to be. If there's double ranked events that day, that's pretty tight. You should do it though, because you'd be surprised. I think you have a pretty good setup, and you have a good variety of blades. So like because you have a good variety of stuff, I think you'll be able to win. You'll get some scores. You'll get some points in. When we had the first ever ranked stuff, I ended up winning that one. So like everyone was like, "Bro, you're top person." Excuse me, top person in Washington State. And I was like, "Damn, bro, I got it." Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Appreciate it. You too.
It is hot. Be careful.
Okay. But yeah, I ended up being like top in Washington State, and then Simon and everybody kept saying like, "Bro, you're the top person now. Everybody's coming for you." I was like, "Bro, don't tell me this shit. Don't tell me this. I don't know what to do with this. I can't handle fame. Don't do this to me." Yeah, that was pretty fun. Yeah, if I got time for it, I'll look into it. Do I have to sign up on WBL to enter? Yeah, you gotta sign up with a WBL account, and then as a WBO account, you wanna join the tournament basically. Hold on, man. Yeah, this shit is hot. I ain't gonna lie. She wasn't lying. Could I just do a walk? You can't. Yeah, you can't just walk in. You could though, but you could walk in and sign up. So I remember I walked in. I had nothing set up. I just showed up because I saw the listing, and then I had to make a WBO account right there. And yeah, they're like, yeah, make a WBO account on the website and then sign up on there. So then they walked me through it. That was my first thing like last year. That happens to a lot of people. A lot of people just end up showing up, but it'll save you time if you sign up early on the website. Because when they do roll call, the roll call is based off your username. Yo, this coffee is hot as hell. I ain't gonna lie. Ooh, she wasn't lying. That was fresh out the espresso machine, whatever you call that joint. The Cash, what's going on with you, man? It's morning time. Do you start your mornings earlier? Or I don't know what's going. Oh shit, man, this shit is hot, bro. Are you a morning person? What do you got going in the mornings? I should have been out the house earlier, but It is what it is right now. It is what it is. All right, there we go. You'll look into it sometime. I don't know if I want to sign up as cash artist or stick with my PS2 name. The cash artist I prefer to keep low key. If it involves showing my face, not gonna lie. It's interesting because I want to say, what was I gonna say? Oh, I gotta move around a little bit. I want to say whatever is easier for you. Also, I don't know if PS2 is gonna be taken. So if PS2 is taken, you might have to pick another one. I think that's how it works. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Hopefully, I'm wrong. But yeah, you have alternate names. It's funny because Cinco Bane and Nino James are like, I actually have that. I have that published. Those are my publishing names for music. So I just kind of stick with that. Yo, this joint is hot. She wasn't lying. My thumb about to be burning. Yeah, I got doing your tax stuff yesterday evening. To be honest, my parents, my bad, screwed me over, letting me know I had to do it on my own for the first time the minute I walked into the house after our meetup last Sun. Oh yeah, I would imagine PS2 was not a valid name. I'll get creative with it if I gotta. Yeah. Damn. I gotta set this down right here. I'll be right back for it. Yo, I'm gonna use the bathroom, so I'm gonna put the phone in the pocket. I'll be right back. I'm going on mute though. Don't get me wrong. I'm going on mute. My bad. My bad. My bad. I really had to. That's how much I hydrate in the morning, and on top of that, I just grabbed a coffee, so that's not gonna help. Yeah, my bad. So, yeah, bless. Yeah, I think I use H&R Block, like the actual website H&R Block. I think I use that. Let me know if you can hear me. But yeah, H&R Block is my main kind of because they kind of walk you through the process. You just punch in the stuff, and it's cool because a lot of the tax forms they have those ID numbers and code numbers on there, serial numbers. So you could just punch them in, and it'll register right away what it is you're trying to put in the system, which is kind of convenient. This is the era we live in, you know. Um, Free tax USA. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm trying to think. My fee was probably $25 on the something like 25 or 60 something on H&R. I only got paid back 200, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is, you know. I do plan on streaming later tonight. Yes, go doing collab with someone, but I'm not sure what it's gonna be like just yet on Twitch. Okay, I gotta double check, man. I keep saying that. I gotta keep double checking if I'm on your Twitch. I know I have your YouTube, so I know I have the VODs on demand, like you were telling me, like you taught me before. Yeah, let me sit here. Last night I couldn't sleep. I was just listening to instrumentals. I was just listening to instrumentals. I was like, I gotta put some of these instrumentals in these YouTube shorts I got. I got 50G Beyblade shorts coming out. I got about 7 or 8 for bad bays. I think it's like 8 of them, and then I got another, I think another 8 for what is this called, bro? The Sundays. So you know how we do the Sundays. I just finished the full cut for the Sunday thing, man. It's about 7 minutes, 7 minute week 6 at tabletop, the one that you were just at. So you'll be in that video, man, for week 6, and it's cool because I feel like if you want me, I could tag you in it. I don't know, but you're kind of in the shots, so maybe I shouldn't, so that way you can remain anonymous. I'll do that. But yeah, so whenever I do like, so I did week 5. That was last week, right? The week that we just did that you showed up, that was week 6. So I'm gonna do the week 6 tabletop tabletop meetup. You know what I'm saying? My bad. Your fee was 17 for state tax part. Right. That makes sense. That fat refund, man. The refunds, my refunds used to be really good, especially like when I went to Renton Tech. Went to Renton Tech and worked at Swedish for a little. Sorry, went to Renton Tech. Ended up working at Virginia Mason, and then it was the school tax with the work tax. Even though I ended up getting fired from that job or let go, that tax was big. Like it was like 1,000, 1,500. It was something. It was a lot, and I bought shoes and shit. But yeah, I bought, bro. You gotta understand. I bought like 9 pairs of shoes, and I told myself I'm gonna wear these for the next 10 years. It's been about 8 years, 7 years. Excuse me. It's been about 7 years. So yeah, and I'm still wearing the shoes. I'm still wearing the shoes I bought like back in 2018, 2019. So it's been about 6, 7 years, and I'm still wearing those same shoes. I told myself, I was like, I'm buying these shoes. I'm only wearing these until 10, 15 years. I'm gonna just keep wearing them out because if I have a rotation, I can just wear them out. You're not if you're not ever streaming on YouTube, at least until I have a good incentive to. Yeah, everyone I know watches me on Twitch. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My cousin be on Twitch. I told him, I was like, bro, you need to get on there more often because even though he just plays music and you both play music and just play Final Fantasy. I was like, bro, yeah, that people want to see that shit. I'd be in the lobby just watching that shit. Don't tag. All right, I got you. I think I asked Pokedronzer the same thing. I don't know if you met Pokedronzer. He's another Pinoy. I'm assuming he's Pinoy. He he kind of looked like my cousin. He's like a big Filipino dude, but he looked a lot like one of my cousins. So I was like, bro, he's got to be Pinoy too. And then if you met Blader Z's wife is Pinoy. So she's around sometimes. And she got a Chimera grip launcher, which is pretty nice. Mieta might be in the chat right now. Z might be in the chat right now, but she's Pinoy too. Who else am I forgetting? Geo's bar, or whatever his name is. He's up in Canada, but he's Pinoy too. This guy, it's funny. His box for his blades was a Dragon Quest slime cookie box. He's like, yeah, I went somewhere. I got this Dragon Quest box for cookies, and yeah, it's crazy. But my bad. I know how it feels to get a fat refund. I haven't had one since 2020. Yeah, I think mine was around the same time too, which is funny. I'm wondering if my parents screwed me over in the past, but I'm not too concerned about yeah, you know what? Yeah, yeah. Try not to think about that, but I know what you mean. Because as long as you got something, but I feel like they'd like to help you out. But who knows if they were like taken off at the top? So many Filipinos you can't escape. We're also in the Northwest, man. It's great conditions here. Back when I'll tell you a little tidbit, a little story, because I'm trying to do the math. So my grandpa was born in 1929, right? He's born in the Philippines, but he's born in 1929. But he wasn't. He was telling me these stories about when he was a kid. He's like, yeah, when World War II broke out, he wasn't even double digits yet. So that means that when World War II broke out, he was like 7, 8, or 9, somewhere around that age. Like he was a young boy. But he said, yeah, around that same period though, like they literally the year before it broke out, like these people came by and that gave people an opportunity. They said, hey, if you guys want an opportunity to have like jobs and stuff like that, get on this boat and we'll take you to the states, United States. You guys will have jobs. So my grandpa's dad ended up getting on that boat because he knew a little bit of English. You know what I'm saying? So because he knew a little bit of English, they started taking the men and the dads out of the house. You know what I mean? So my grandpa's dads and uncles and all that shit, they all just left. They all just went on this boat and was like, I guess we're going to the States. So my excuse me, great grandpa was the first person here in the United States in the 30s. So it would have been the 30s. The Filipinos have been here since the 30s, just hanging out, whether it be the Northwest or California and stuff like that. But that's a whole nother, that's a deeper story and conversation to have. But I remember that shit. That's how I calculated. I realized it was the 30s that my family was here the first time. They were working, they all worked up, and then they end up making friends and having these uncles and whatnot, uncles and friends that they call brothers, consider brothers, and those people all put their money together. They end up buying houses and shit like that. But what they would say is like up here, bro. I think the reason why a lot of Filipinos invited more of their families here was because one, like you're saying right here, um, the nursing and stuff. Yep, nursing is one thing. That's what his job. Yep, and then it's the hard work and it's the nursing, right? So it's the two things, right? So those two things, those are like the two main things, right? But then the other thing was the fishing stuff. So the fact that it was a proximity to Alaska, and then the fact that back then, I can't remember exactly where it was. There's a specific place. There's Whidbey Island, and then there's some other places like not Mercer, but it's I forget the actual islands. You know what I'm saying? But people used to be able to get clams. This is before they had a law that said hey, you can't just be taking clams in this public area. You need to have permits and shit like that. So I remember like one of my grandmas on like one of the sides, one of the grandmas over there on one of the sides, kind of like extended family side. She was, yeah, exactly, razor clamming, squidding, exactly, and then doing like the smelting or whatever, smelting with the fish and stuff like that. So they just come out there with the nets, or they just come out there with a bucket and they just grab shit. And I remember when they enforced the law in the '80s, my grandma was still out there with some of my uncles talking about not like my grandma, like I came from her, but extended family grandma. She's like, yeah, I don't care. We'll just go until they show up, and she was just grabbing buckets of clams and shit. So like the fact that there's so many seafood spots over here in Seattle, like it just became a hotbed. But it's just like more than likely, like your family probably knows mine and back, et cetera, et cetera. Like people just be so tight knit with each other and probably run into each other a lot at different, like whether it be casino events or just like fishing type of events. I think our generation is more spread out and not knowing of each other. We're more ignorant of each other because we're kind of just living our lives as Americans. But back then, you know how it is. Filipinos, they have a hard time communicating in general. So then they're just like, oh, where are you from? Oh, you're this, you're that, and then they just have Tagalog to relate to each other. So it's kind of cool. But it's a really good like spot for fishing and just like whatnot. And my uncles and all them, they would always go up to Alaska for the summer. Was it summer or winters or something like that? They'd go up there, just work on the boats and shit like that. Just grab stuff for extra money. My brother actually went there. My brother he came up here from San Jose, and my uncle gave that recommendation to him. He ended up going to Alaska, got a whole bunch of money, got his car, and started having some extra money on the side and savings. So, and then he ended up making some more extra money, so that way he can help his wife when his wife came here from the Philippines. But yeah, I imagine they are. Yeah, although my parents immigrated in the early '90s. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So they were. I'm assuming they were petitioned. So they're probably petitioned like early because it's funny because my two of my uncles, they were petitioned back in the '80s. They were petitioned back in the '80s, but then they finally got here in like 2012, 2013. Like that's how long it took, like 25, 30 years just for them to finally like, okay, you're allowed to come here now. It was like, hey, they're finally allowing them. Like, that's how you knew they just needed more workers. Because motherfuckers just needed jobs and shit. You know, immigrating in Ireland. Always meeting random Filipinos my mom apparently knows over at Seafood City in Tequila. Yeah, everyone kind of knows everyone, and it's like a lot of the Ilocano ties. It's just the region. A lot of the people from that area in that region, because and that's the other crazy part is like a lot of the Ilocano people were coming to the states first, in waves. You know, so the wave that the biggest wave was probably like martial law days, and the martial law days were more about was that President Marcos, like the dictator. He's pretty much like a dictator. He's running like a dictatorship. But he was from the Ilocos area. I forget which specific area or province, but that created this wave of people just getting over here. Like, yeah, we're of his, whatever. But some people took advantage of being in proximity to him, and other people took advantage of just simply being just of the region. So Luzon was favored in terms of bringing people here. But yeah, sorry too well. My dad just says his dad gave him a green card, and then my mom followed with him illegally. Yeah, that's the way to go. And this is before they were checking shit. Back then, people were just hopping on planes, hopping on planes, and you show up to customs like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "All right, well, make sure you don't stay too long." I don't know. To be honest, I don't know a lot about Ilocano. I've heard of y'all, but my mom never explains anything to me. Sure, I knows a bit. I mean, it's just the whole Marcos thing left a black eye on like the Ilocano people a little bit, because like he's a dictator. He was running the country, and like the whole Manila city was going through revolts and revolutionary shit, and he kind of just left a black eye on the whole administration and the way that the country was ran. And he happened to be from one of the Ilocos areas, and it also happened that he just allowed a lot of people from his region, like a lot of the Ilocano people, to come here. So it was some shit. It was some bullshit, really. But I I proudly talk about how my great grandpa got here in the 30s. Like he wasn't a part of that wave. He was part of the other wave where they got kind of you know they got bamboozled into like, hey, we have opportunities for you, and then they get here, they get discriminated and get paid less than their worth. Shit like that. That's a whole nother story in of itself. But here we are, still standing strong type shit. That's the other funny thing I want to bring up. Whenever you run into some ignorant white people talking about go back to your country, it's like, it's funny. Your own people invited us here for fucking jobs and bullshit, and then you trying to kick us out. But it's like you ain't even establishing shit here. Motherfuckers just stealing shit. Motherfuckers stole the land and stealing some other shit, acting like it was them. Stealing technology, educational shit. A lot of this all stems from like black and brown cultures. That's a whole nother conversation. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like every time you hear that shit, well, go back to your country. It's like, bro, I was born here, and then two, if I go back to the oldest relative in the family tree that got here for the first time, motherfucker just got offered a job by your people, Americans. So so-called Americans that were probably new here too. Those so-called Americans probably just got to Ellis Island one generation ago, and all of a sudden you guys feel like you're entitled to this shit because you stole it from natives. Like, what the fuck? That shit is crazy. Exactly, you invited us, my guy. Like, what the fuck? I don't know a lot about politics over there, to be honest, but whenever I'm told stories, it's really sad. I know, bro. It'd be sad as hell. It'd be the saddest shit. Like, I don't know. I'm not even gonna say it on this live. Maybe I'll save it for another live. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yo, mom invited us because she had good cookies for us, bro. Yeah. Yeah. There it is. That's the other one, man. Got them cookies. But that should be like, but it's ignorance is on many levels. That's white. That's like the whitest ignorance. That's like the Karen ignorance, and then every culture has their ignorance. Filipino people have their ignorance. I hear them say ignorant shit all the time, and I have to call it out like, hey man, let's just be mindful because they're trying. Everyone's trying to figure us out, and then we should just try to figure them out too. Let's just be mindful of that shit. But how it is, man. People just be saying wild shit in every household and culture, but I got to be the one to call it out. Like, hey man, I don't like this shit's uncomfortable, bro. I don't like that shit. Come on, let's be nice to each other. But yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's a long conversation. I think I try not to force that shit on people, but it's just like it's so ingrained in my family tree, and it's just shit that I heard growing up in my household, and also like I organized around this stuff. I went to the Philippines to work around it a little bit and work with other comrades and kasamas and stuff. So it's I hold them dear to my heart, even though I don't organize anymore. It's a different type of fight, if that makes sense. Yeah, it do be true. Ignorance is universal, the same way these fists are. Yep. Hey, so there's a funny ass video of Marshawn Lynch, and he goes to different cities and just experiences the culture. He went to Cuba, so I don't know if you know, but Cuba has some of the best boxers ever, but a lot of them never get past the Olympics. So the Cuban boxers, in my mind, I think they're the best. Cubans and Mexicans, I think, are the best boxers. That's just me. But if you go to Cuba, boxing is like a big part of their culture. Obviously, dancing is too. And they just got, Marshawn Lynch went to this Cuban boxing gym, and he was learning with the kids, and they were just working him, and he was getting tired. He was like, "Bro, this is crazy." So then they had to sit down with him and say, "What do you think about the lifestyle here?" He's like, "Man, it's just cool. No matter where you are in the world, doesn't matter where you are. Just you gotta respect the grounds you're on and whoop de wop." He was saying all this stuff, and he said, "The one thing that we know is universal is hands. Hands are universal, and these kids got it." And that shit had me crying. So the way you said, universal like the fist, bro, that shit is hilarious because that's the same thing Marshawn was saying. This is hilarious, bro. I bet. Let me check this. Yep, that shit is funny as hell. If this coffee got cold enough. This coffee is still hot as hell. Lady gave me a lot of coffee. She had a Gonzaga hoodie on, and I was like, damn, Gonzaga got good sports, man. They had John Stockton, man. John Stockton, Jalen Suggs. They had a whole lot of people come through that system. That shit crazy. And they were Bulldogs too. And they're Bulldogs, bro. Hold on, let me show you. And they were Bulldogs. And we right here, you know what I'm saying? My high school that I dropped out of, which is funny. The Bulldogs are Garfield right here. My high school. That happens a lot. It's similar with Tekken. Yep. Where recently a guy from Pakistan randomly won the entire EVO championship. Yep. For Tekken 7 in Vegas. I'm saying, man, he's nice with it. If you're nice, you're nice. You know, I had a friend like that. He just would practice in his basement, but he took it so serious that like he went to some random house party and he was cooking people at Tekken, Street Fighter, Smash Bros. I was like, bro, how the fuck you do this? He's like, this is all he does all day. He just studies shit. Like when he fails, he just thinks like, what did I do wrong? Let me try to do it right. Like he's one of those. He's so that guy from Pakistan probably has that same thing where it's like, oh, let me get this right, let me adjust. Oh, here we go, boom, and you just smack people. Some people just have the brain for it. I just be hitting buttons. I ain't gonna lie. I just be button mashing. I'm like forward, and I just be I just be going forward. I be fucking up. I suck at fighting games, except for Smash Bros. But Smash Bros. Don't count. And a bunch of people have been trying to analyze Pakistani style of playing. Interesting. Eternal Light is my guy right there. Still here, just listening. Was doing chores. Have to get all the animals all looked after before work. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yep. Yeah. Hey, Eternal. Did all the snow melt? Like, is it finally spring over there, man? Eternal has like a nice chicken coop, and I've been learning about I forgot the name of that band already. Iola, I believe. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Ayola, but Eternal Light put me onto some new music. Just I've been watching their shorts. I've been seeing that sunset over there too, man. That sunset up there is nice. Hopefully, you guys are getting more sun right now. We're getting more sun all week, man. It's been crazy. It was kind of raining a couple days ago, but right now it's been pretty smooth. He's got to see me then. Yeah. Besides Beyblades, I want to do some fighting game stuff here in Seattle. I wish you could click and view channels on YouTube and via chat. Twitch does it fine. And I know, right? Twitch is a little better on that. YouTube, you can't do it in the chat, which is kind of. I mean, maybe it's for safety reasons. I don't know. Yeah, the sun rocks, man. I like sunlight. I'm a sunlight person. But see, I think because of that, I might have to move, man. You know what I'm saying? I think the what is it? The overcast kind of gets to me sometimes, some days. If you get into me, I ain't gonna lie. But I think yeah, where Eternal's at, I think they get overcast too. I don't know if it's as bad as Northwest, Pacific Northwest. I wonder where Solarian's at because I'm gonna talk to Solarian about it. I'm ask him. Solarian's up in British Columbia, BC. But yeah, Eternal. I had to grab my coffee too, man. This joint is still hot, Eternal. I went to one of my little spots over here that does smoothies. I used to get smoothies there, but I was like, I can only afford a little $5 cup right now. Can't do nothing. Eternal, a little inside joke, man. Congrats on your new relationship, or your new girlfriend. I mean, we've already known her, but yeah, congrats on that, man. That's a crazy predicament, man. That's a crazy. The more I've been talking with, or excuse me, the more I've been listening to her feeds, her live feeds, Amanda's live feeds and whatnot, and then just hearing the situation with, I don't know, just the person that they live with. That's kind of crazy, man. I didn't know all that happened. I'm sorry you had to go through that on FaceTime or FaceTime call. Is that what it was? I'm sorry you guys went through that. I'm sorry you had to deal with that guy, man. But yeah, crazy. That's true. My earliest memories was always overcast when your parents traded cars at their workplace. Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they didn't want to hire a babysitter for me. Yeah, it's kind of weird to think about, right? Like when you have memories of Seattle or just like being here, it's some form of overcast. Even if you're at like a parade or like summertime, we got the parade and the all the like Bite of Seattle, things like that. And it doesn't, it's like year round, especially if you go to school here. It's like I don't know, it's just crazy. It's just kind of crazy. Eternal, what's kind of funny? Eternal is oh, Cash, congrats, yeah. What's funny about it, Eternal is you know, like the WhatsApp app is like one of the most sus ones too. So that's probably why the guy started getting into his insecurities. Like I don't know their situation. It's actually not my business. It's only based off what she chooses to tell us, obviously. But even then, I was just like, I was, everything I've been hearing and then just hearing about the dude. Like I'm actually sad. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know those situations. I'm kind of sad that they're still together, living together like that. It made me think about a relationship I had with someone where I was like sitting there just tolerating it all the time, and I was like, bro, I'm kind of happy I got out of that because, or sooner than later. I only did 2 years with her. She lived at my house, but I didn't have my own house. If that makes sense. And it's just the thought that like, damn, if I just kept going with this and we kept tolerating each other, trying to be around each other, it would have been like this. So, I don't know. I kind of she helped me reflect a bit about life. Not just putting up with people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that made me think a little bit. And she's open and honest about it. I didn't understand what I was listening to because I came in midstream. So I think I get it now. Yeah, I got to think about it. It's funny because there's like at least two people that show up in my stream that talk about their relationships. One of them just got married, which is I'm really happy for that guy. This guy, Nobody, he shows up every now and again. And yeah, man, it's pretty cool. And then they were just talking to me about stuff. And I always reach out and ask them, like, What are some things, Dude, we just yelling some random shit. I gotta look back because there's a kid over there. But yeah, um, there's a kid sitting over there. So and there was some dude yelling. Make sure he don't do no funny shit. Matter of fact, let me stand right here, just in case. Hold on. Yeah, I started reflecting on my own life and relationships. I was like, damn, I'm happy I didn't stick with certain people because I would have just been tolerating them, putting up with their shit. Yeah, I don't want to end up like that, man. The more I hear people tell me about marriages and fucked up shit, I'm like, I gotta think about my life a little more too. Does that make sense? All right, ain't nothing happening. You know what I mean? Ain't shit happening. I'm starting to spill coffee on my hand though, so I gotta drink a little more. So what's going on today is like I'm probably get a second live stream going for Monster Hunter and then try to do as much as I can. But I got a little lunchtime meet around 12, 12ish. Meet up with my friend who's here from out of town, and then I'm gonna try to get back to doing some stuff because I want to upload some clips. I don't know what time it is right now, but maybe I'll get to doing that too as well. Really do got the sketchiest story. And that's the other thing too, right? That's going. How's it going? Morning. That's the other thing about it is yeah, I don't know. I'm not against it, but if you find, I'm one of those. If I find the right one, sure. But I'm also like, I hear so much shit, man. You know. Also, it's like you also got to be think about what people become throughout the marriage or throughout the relationship. Because I'm the type of person I'm gonna take responsibility for how I treat someone towards the end. Because maybe I don't see it in the meantime. Like maybe I'm not noticing how I'm treating someone in the middle of the relationship, but I know afterwards I look back like I take responsibility for it getting to this point and I take responsibility for it getting this far, But yeah, speaking of Monster Hunter, I wanted to ask, do you not have a mic when you play? I think it'd be great to talk while you play. I don't know how to, I have these headphones in, and the headphones have a mic, but I don't know how to set that up. I gotta double check how to set that up on the OBS because I have like I use these little Raycon headphones and whatnot. You know. Oh my bad. Okay, I'll get into that in a second. I have these Raycon headphones and I want to talk. But the thing is, I can hear other players in the stream, but I can't like. I thought they were able to hear me, but maybe I have to fix something in the settings. So I'll figure it out. Also, I don't know if you're at home, but I know I can screen share with you if I'm sitting there on Discord. Because I did that with my cousin. I was screen sharing with him, and he was helping me set up Steam. You have an understanding how Amanda feels due to my past marriage. Yeah, different sort of circumstances, but I can see how she feels as a woman trapped. Yeah, and that's what's crazy, man. Like, I think where I draw the line is again, I don't know the guy and I don't know their situation, but respectfully, as a man, like, why would you let that woman suffer? You know, like what when men continue to make women suffer, it's one of those, oh, I gotta get back at her, I have to do something to her that she made me feel. So okay, that's between them, but like as a man, it's like, why would you do that to a woman in general? Just let her go. You know what I'm saying? Be the ethical person and just it's not about taking the high ground. It's just about like, hey man, let's just let it go. So I don't understand, you know, I don't know, man. I've never been married, so who am I to say? But as a dude, I'm just like, bro, if a woman mistreats me, I'm not gonna go out of my way to mistreat her to get back at her. I'm gonna just walk away or let this all go. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Amanda did that. I'm just saying whatever he feels like he needs to stick around for, it's probably just some house shit, some money shit, some weird stuff. I dated a woman like that, bro. I dated a woman that had her own house. She worked 2 jobs to get her own house, paid off the payments, and then her husband tried to get the house from her. So like that's why I know some dudes be on some bullshit. That's why when Amanda was tripping on that shit, I knew. I was like, yeah, I know right away that this is one of those guys that just wants like the hard work and inheritance of someone else, which is kind of janky. But again, I don't have the facts. I like going based on the facts. And what I do know is like they are suffering. They're both suffering with each other, which is really sad. Very sad, man. But I hope they work that out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pray that they work that out and that they get through it. I put all my thoughts and energy more into Amanda than anyone else because we know her. But yeah, exactly. Became complacent, took for granted. Yeah, type of. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. You get used to that shit. People get real comfortable, right? Totally do screen share. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Cash. I'll let you know, man. Cause I'm trying to figure this out. I need to drink more coffee. Hold on. Gotta set this right. This shit is dripping on my hand. It's not burning or nothing, but it's just like, hold on. My bad. My bad. Colonel, did you get your coffee this morning? I think you're like 4 hours ahead of me. Let me know if you got your coffee, man. You got to get your day right. I was debating if I should get a cup today. Like, do I need a cup? I don't know if need is the word, but I'd like to have one, right? I might walk up the spruce, excuse me. Walk up the spruce, post up until someone kicks me out. Just stand there for a second, post up like the old days when goofy kids. Just stand over there and then, you know, somebody says, I gotta go, I'm gonna dip. But I'm gonna go to the library, get some gaming in and whatnot. But yeah, I need to learn the screen share thing and casting games. You know, I was in a hotel, I was trying to figure it out because I didn't want to like, basically I found out that if the hotels use the same Wi-Fi and they have like movies optional in the hotel rooms, if that makes sense, then you can like screen share to that. Because I was in a hotel recently, and then me and my friend were trying to screen share or Chromecast or something like that from my phone to the hotel TV. But then it only was cables because they didn't actually have Wi-Fi connected to the TV, if that makes sense. It was just straight up cables. It was some other shit, but yeah. DM you if you need help with the things with OBS and game stuff. I know a lot. And no, I'm about to lean on you for that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. And like I know you're on Twitch streaming, so I was like, nah, I'm about to lean on you. My other so I was telling you, my cousin, he's like I don't know how to say it. He's pretty much handicapped right now, so he's just be at the house, but he's always at his computer. So then I remember I called him. I called his phone. And he didn't pick up, and I was like, oh shit, what's going on? Called him on Discord. I was like, bro, I knew you was gonna be here, so I hit him up, and that he was the guy that was helping me out. But I'm gonna reach out to you too. I kind of worry. I guess I'll just check in with you and ask like if you're busy or not. But yeah, man, I'm gonna check that out. I keep spilling coffee, man. Yeah, Eternal. I'm not very tech savvy myself. Even though like I don't know if I didn't do enough computer stuff at school either. So I'm not that tech savvy. But once I start to figure it out, I just create a lot because I had to go through some YouTube videos to figure out Elgato. I got the Elgato at the house, so then I was sitting there setting up GameCube and Switch, gameplays and whatnot. I was like, okay, here we go, and I started making like hundreds and hundreds of videos, whatever, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance stuff. I really want to do some old, play some PS1, PS2, Game Boy, Game Gear. Oh yeah, Eternal, you should get a Elgato. And maybe I'll shoot a video. Maybe I'll. Are you on Discord, Eternal? I don't know if you're on there. That's what I mainly use. I mainly use Discord, but that way I could just FaceTime you and show you my setup. I might just film a video. I could probably do that too. Maybe just film a video and somehow send it to you, or probably tag you in it. Because I'm able to put my. So the thing is, I have a GameCube, and then there's an attachment you put at the bottom of the GameCube called the Game Boy Player. I feel like you remember this, and that's how I play all my Game Boy Advance games and Game Boy Color games, and I film them. I just do it like that. But here's the thing: if you have PS1, PS2, and if you have what's it called, a PS1, PS2. Shit, what am I forgetting, bro? What did you just say? Xbox. Yeah, there it is. And Xbox, because those have the AV cables, you can just put the AV cables into a converter for the Elgato and then do it like that. HDMI AV converter. My bad. Just run it through that, and then from there you can yeah, from there you could pretty much just go straight to what do you call it? Um, oh, dude, I haven't drawn a blank. You can go straight to your laptop, basically. Sorry. Oh yeah, the Game Boy Player is sick. You can use it without the disc if you have a different game like Zelda, Wind Waker. Interesting. I didn't know that. I bought my second hand, and the Game Boy Player was free with no disc. Good thing I had Wind Waker, so you can use Wind Waker. Bro, Wind Waker is a plug. That's crazy. It's funny because the actual Game Boy Player, like the disc, is being sold for like 60, 70 right now, like a regular game, which is crazy. Oh, they're having a service. My bad. You're on Discord, Eternal. You might have to add me, man, or you might have to. I'm at the comment on one of your videos. I don't know how to send you my username, but I'm gonna find out. I think I just go to my channel, my profile, and I hit copy, and I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna just leave it on one of your videos. I gotta remember to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Good morning. Hey.
How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. I think I hear a service, so I'm just I don't want to sit there because I be talking loud. That's my issue. I be talking kind of loud. I'm just spilling coffee, and I'm sad about it. But Eternal, I'm gonna find my username, and maybe I'll send it to you. And then I probably just FaceTime you and be like, yeah, this is my setup. It's pretty simple, but I think I have to buy maybe 1 or 2 extra cables. I gotta remember because I want, do you still have your excuse me, you have your PlayStation 1 and 2 systems and your Xbox systems? Because if you still have the systems and you got the AV cables, it'd be easy. I think you just plug those in, the yellow, white, and red. I feel like you just plug those into and it's North America, so I think you'll be fine. You plug it into the HDMI converter, hook the HDMI to the connect that one to the laptop or whatever you're using, and then the other cord kind of just goes somewhere. Well, let me think about this. Cord goes to the other Elgato thing, HDMI inputs and outputs and stuff. So it took me a minute to figure it out, but yeah, I gotta look at my configuration again, and I'll remember. But yeah, that'd be nice if you could do some games. That'd be cool. I think I was talking to you or someone else like months ago, and I was like, imagine if like the way you live your life normally, you kind of just monetized it. You know, so you guys see me, I just walk around. Like me walking around, I would do that normally. I used to do that for years, just walking around, because I would try to save bus fare, and then I converted that into just like, why didn't I just walk around and go on FaceTime the whole time? Just record and go on live. Why didn't I do that this whole time? Because that way, like, even if I feel like I'm by myself, there's a bit of accountability with the conversations I'm having out loud, or the thoughts I'm having and the thoughts I'm thinking. So that way I could just put it out there. You know, I guess that makes me like not an introvert, but yeah, monetizing your life through streaming. Be careful what you wish for. I mean, that's the other aspect about it. But see, I think it just doesn't really, because I don't live a lifestyle that's like, I don't really have private things in my life aside from like maybe who I'm fucking or like who I'm trying to date, things like that. So I don't really have that issue. Lots of folks already hate it. Yeah, I have all the PlayStations in the older boxes. You have Game Gear Advance from 2000. Game Gear, I'm trying to remember what that looks like. That sounds hella familiar, and lots of folks already hate it. I think it's like, see, my thing is like the pleasure I'm kind of going for in life is like I'm not hurting other people in the process. That's my main thing, if that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, my bad, my bad. Morning. Yeah, that only plays the big fat game cartridges. Oh, those ones? I think I know what you're talking about. That sounds hella familiar. Game Gear. I gotta look at that. Oh, morning. Um, it's the only biggest one I've seen was regular Nintendo, not Super Nintendo, but Nintendo. Game Gear was Sega and handheld. There we go. I remember that. My cousin had all the Sega stuff, and then we had all the Nintendo stuff. And I remember they ended up getting both. They ended up getting all the PlayStation, Sega stuff, and then they also ended up getting Nintendo. So I'd go over to my cousin's house, like, bro, you guys got everything. But for a while, it was just we were Nintendo and they were Sega. So they used to play Sonic. I was hella jealous. I was like, bro, I want to play Sonic. And they used to come to my house because they wanted to play Mario and Yoshi's Island and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, I'm play Sonic though. I'm trying to run. Ooh, ooh. Oh, there's something in mine. Spider web. I walked right into the spider web too. I wonder if the spider's on me. Well, I might have a spider on me now, and that's fine. You might have to take him home. Little bruh, you gotta take him home. Yeah. Bro, I remember Neo Geo. Do you remember the old magazine? There's a magazine where the Neo Geo died, and it showed Mario pissing on the grave of Neo Geo. It was fucking crazy. I was like, they had beef. They had gaming beef back then, like game company beef. I think there were with a few fighting games on it. Neo Geo used to have the Street Fighter, like the little miniature one. All the stuff stolen. Oh no! Oh, I had it all. That should be pissing me off, man. Oh, look at this little dog. Yeah, the guy just sitting here at the library. I didn't mean to film dude like he was a circus act. I didn't mean to film little bro. But you know, how you doing? I don't want to sit next to him. But yeah, dog spotted. There was another lady walking a dog a while ago. The lady I said good morning to when I walked past a couple of minutes ago. The lady had on all pink, and then the dog had like a pink little vest, which is kind of funny. I was like, this looked like some Legally Blonde, like Legally Pink thing. She was a black lady though, but it just looked like one of those movies. But the lady dressed in all pink comes in with her dog. Like it just seemed like some fancy shit. It was funny. It was cute though. It was cute though. Is that the name of the movie? Legally Blonde? I don't know if that's it. Bridesmaids. Excuse me. Bridesmaids. That's what I'm thinking of. Shit like that. I know, man. I don't know, man. I've never really sat down and watched those movies, but there's one that I watched. What was I was literally talking about someone. I was talking to someone about this on live yesterday because they were talking about their wife and chick flicks or something like that. I was like, I just named one chick flick that I thought was cool because I was like, everyone said it was a chick flick, but I thought it was a good movie. It's called Time Traveler's Wife. But everybody's like, that's a chick flick, bro. I'm like, that's a good ass movie. I ain't gonna lie, that's a good ass chick flick. You know, I don't even know how to define that shit. It's funny though. Let me see something. Are we disconnected? That's good. I'll charge up my devices once I get in. But I'm just out here chilling for now. I didn't want to keep spilling coffee, bro. I ain't trying to keep spilling the coffee. But yeah, Eternal. I'm really sad about that. Back to that topic, man. It sucks when you have to like get all your systems back. My friends in Iowa, like my friend in Iowa, her son and her mom and her sisters. Well, like so I'll say specifically her mom and her sister. They play RPGs a lot. They play a lot of RPG games, and they kept telling me about the PS2 and yeah, the PS2 days, and you know, they used to play like games like Jade Cocoon and things like that on the PS2. And they're telling me all these stories, and I'm like, damn, you can't get it no more. And it's like, yeah, their old my friend's dad back then, he was kind of abusive. So whenever they were playing games, he used to kind of have these pills and would drug the mom. So then that way she would go straight to sleep, and then he would just play the game systems. And then when she got farther in the game systems, he would delete her files and also like break the game systems in the games. So all these games that they remember playing, they have it in their memory, but they just didn't have it. So I remember hearing all these stories. I was like, that's some sad ass shit. So like I ordered on eBay. I just got like a PS2 bundle with the controllers and shit. I just sent it to them. I was like, bro, take that shit. That's some foul shit. Because they've been good to me. She was checking in with me every day when I was going through shit, and shit like that. So I looked out for her, got her the game systems, and then when I went there, I forgot to bring Jade Cocoon. So then I decided to mail Jade Cocoon later on. It's a PS2 game. It's kind of an interesting RPG. It's like a monster battler, monster fusion thing. Excuse me, I'm trying to fight back a sneeze. Ooh, the idea of not watching things because it's catered towards women is such a weird thing. That it's a very old and dated mindset today. I mean, I feel like I'm in that mindset a little bit where I'm like, if someone tells me it's a chick flick, I probably won't watch it. But here's the thing, like when it came down to um, Time Traveler's Wife or whatever it's called, no one told me what it was. I just was watching it and I liked it. So it's just like, but the thing is, I feel like if you frame it a certain way, it's naturally going to make someone not want to, you know, because I remember one time in school, right? They're like, oh, we're about to watch Ponyo. And then some of the kids in class were like, what is this shit? This is like some kid shit. And we started playing it, and we're like, bro, this shit is fire. Like, Ponyo is fire. What the fuck? It was Ponyo, and then even the other one was Wally. So we were like kids, bro. We were like kids, just like, and what is it? We're like in high school, but we're like, man, I think I grew out of Pixar and Disney, bro. What is this Wally shit? We started watching Wally. That's a good movie. So it's like little things where like you almost can't really, if you prep people too much for stuff, the idea of something, they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna commit to it. But if you kind of just like, hey, we're gonna do this. It's a little bit of that. Well, let me just show you. They might like it. That's the part of movies not exactly. Eternal says, okay, got to head off to work. Have a great day. Hope to catch you later. Eternal, I'm gonna comment on your video, so I'm gonna comment. I'm gonna leave you my username. Hope you can find me. So, but yeah, hopefully you can find me or add me or something. I don't know how that works, but yeah, bro. Hopefully, no other random person adds me. The power of movies and art, man. Hey, man, all in the name, right? That's the cash artist right there. There it is. How's it going? That's just crazy. That's what I like about art, man. Yeah, you'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll both figure it out. I'm actually not very tech savvy either. So I'm usually like face to face with people when I'm figuring things out, like usernames and how to add people and shit. I just don't be knowing, bro. But cash, yeah, man. That's the beauty of artistry, ain't it? That's the beauty of art. Man, I can't wait to live stream in the summer. My phone's gonna overheat. I already know it. My phone's just gonna be overheated. I'm gonna be like hiding out in the shade, just post it up. I remember I was using my phone just for Google Maps when I was in El Paso, and El Paso was like dry heat, and my phone was dying. My phone was getting cooked. My phone like turned off on itself. I kept looking down. I was like, bro, I need the map. I was like, I'm gonna just find it. I'm gonna just keep walking through the back roads till I get to my hotel, man. Whatever. That shit was crazy. But yeah, man, there's like key times of the day to go live and to not go live. I've been noticing that from my own, just you know, waking up in the morning and getting these in. Well, let me check some. When you're gonna pick up the SoccerCon badge? JD. You know what they said? It was a go Sunday, or excuse me, go Thursday. So if you look at the schedule, it says you can pick up your badge anytime between these things, and it'll show the schedule. It'll say Thursday, 12 to 6 or 12 to 8, and then on Friday it's gonna be when it pretty much opens up. I mean, I don't. You got to double check the email because whatever it says the time is on Thursday. I'm probably gonna go that time, which I think is 12 or 10. So whatever the earliest is I can get there, I'm gonna just show up and be like, yeah, this is my username, email, whatever ID, and get my badge on Thursday. So that way Friday I can just fly straight through. So Thursday I'm gonna try to get in as early as possible. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro. Wait, when did you pay for it? Did you pay for it recently or early? I pay kind of late, so I paid like 100 something for my badge. I think now it's like 130, which is crazy. There's no more day passes. You're pretty much just paying for the whole weekend, even if you just show up Saturday. But yeah, the faster you get the badge, the easier the access will be. That's what they keep saying. So I can't wait. I cannot wait, bro. Same 110. Yeah, I pay like 100, bro. I was back when I was working. I'm brokey broke. I gotta double check my little credit card statements right now. I'm gonna see what's going on. See what my payments is looking like for the month. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Shad said some funny shit. He was like, just spend the money. It's fake anyway. And I was cracking up. I was like, you're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. Because I was doing that shit all the time when I was pre-ordering everything. Hey, did you pre-order Scorpio? That's crazy. To this day, I've never been to a con. A lot of my friends really do be flaking on me on the idea of going and instead going with their girl or whatever. Yeah, I hope one day to go to soccer. Man, you gotta go, man. Maybe. And here's the thing, Blader Z, he actually he works on the lighting in the convention center. So because he works on the lighting there, he gets free. He gets free access to just going there every day. But he said because he had free access, he also wanted to use some of his pull to ask him like, hey, can we get a conference room to do a Beyblade tournament here? And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll give you a big one. What do you guys need? So they gave us a big conference room thanks to Z. So Z's been hooking this up all week. But like, what is today? Tuesday. So like, I don't know if it started yesterday or today, but pretty much today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the whole event. Z's gonna have to do some lighting and some breakdown and do the whole convention center. So he's gonna be busy all fucking week. But that man getting paid, so it is what it is. Worst part, the girl never stays. Yeah, she don't, because that's what it is when the dude be nerding out and then sees him fawning over all this shit. There's like, I don't want to be around dude right now. I don't need all this. We just check it out. She probably looks at a few things she likes, Sailor Moon, and maybe like Pink Ranger or whatever. Just random shit they got, random girl anime characters they got, shit like that, and then they just dip. You know what I mean? I did a girl who casually like watched anime, so she only rocked with like Sailor Moon and shit. So if she went to them conventions, she wouldn't care too much. She'd be like, I don't know what's going on. People getting hyped up over everything. You know how it is. We nerd out over little things, especially if you're a deep fan and certain stuff. But yeah, so girls don't really fuck with that shit unless they really sit down and watch anime. Some of them do. There's more women now that are more open to it. But I think a lot of that stemmed from them having like older brothers or uncles watching. Because my niece is hella into anime, and I think a lot of it's because me and my brother kept on playing shit around her. We just kept on playing different shows around her. Like, yeah, watch this one, try this one. You know what I'm saying? And then like people in her generation, they had people like putting them onto anime, Pokemon and everything, and they just started yeah, that whole generation too. Only like 10, 12 years apart, but yeah, kind of interesting, man. Yeah, maybe soccer kind is not a good first date for a girl. You might want to meet one there with the same interest, but I don't know if you should bring a girl out there. Like, yeah, let's go to soccer con and kind of like nerd out a bit. Nerding out isn't for everyone either. You know, it's funny. We're literally in the chat talking about this with nobody who got married recently. Shout out to nobody, and who he keeps saying he's in a hotel somewhere in my city, and I'm like, bro, if you see me, you see me. I'm not gonna go out my way looking for people. If I'm being honest, you know. But yeah, he was saying something like, yeah, man, a lot of the key things is just you were just saying a lot of the key things is like you just find someone that loves you for who you are, and that's easier said than done. So he kept saying how much he lucked out because he found a girl that really just like took him for all he was. You know what I mean? Doesn't judge him for nothing he does or nothing he views or watches, and you know what I mean. He just accepts him for who he is, and I'm like, that's what's up, man. It's rare to come by that. But yeah, hold on, man. Every time I come by here, there's some new shit in the bushes. Last time there was some random clothes. Now you got some beads and shit, beads and rubber bands and shit. I'm like, what are you guys doing here, man? But yeah, oh shit, my bad. Yeah, did I might have messed something up. I didn't. I didn't. I might have messed something up doing that. People be looking like people I know from far away. That fucked me up a little bit. Anyway, um, yeah, man, let me charge up these devices, man. I don't know if I'll probably go live a little bit later. I'm gonna charge up what I got left going right here. You know what I mean? Like, just charge up the microphone, the phone itself, the laptop. Cash. I don't know if I'm gonna get on the mic today. I might look it up while I'm at it. How's it going? I might look it up while I'm at it, like just plugging all my devices in. But I don't know, man. I might just. We'll see, because I got a lot of time on my hands. So I'm I'm gonna see. I'm gonna play it by ear, really. You know. Let me get in here though. Let me get in here, charge up my stuff. You know. Listen, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna be in here in a second. You're gonna see me in a couple minutes. Hit that Monster Hunter live stream. What are we on, number 9 right now? Get to, you know. I'm most likely gonna be busy later today. Oh, you're good for a stream collapse. So heads up. It was a good talk. Thank you, Cash. Thank you for dropping in. Hey, Cash, come out Saturdays and Sunday. You know, Saturday for the events, and then Sundays if you're available. You know, if you're available, yeah, just come out. You know where we're at. Sundays, you know where we're at. Yeah, you know what it is. You know where to find us, and I look forward to checking it out. I'm gonna be kind of busy today. I'm trying to stream as much as I can throughout the day, so you may or may not see or hear from me. I'm gonna try to drop in on your stream. I'm gonna find you on Twitch. I know I found it. I swear to God, I found it. But I know I have your YouTube, so we'll see. We'll see. I'll be at yes, I'm gonna try to go to tabletop on Sunday. I'm gonna try to recruit some people on Saturday. Like, hey man, if you're in the area, just come down. Come down with us, man. We got one dude that's banned from the whole Seattle scene. He might show up on Saturday at the soccer con. If he does, man, I don't know what we're gonna do. We might have to cuss this dude out, or I might have to sock the shit out of him one time. But you know, we don't know if he actually left the city. He might be trolling us, but that's a whole other story. We'll get to that. Yeah, nah, some funny shit, man. He just got banned. He just kind of he just lies a lot, and then he had the nerve to confront Neo about Neo's own wife, and I was like, bro, you confronted Neo about his own wife? You're stupid. You're dumb. And then they just had a good laugh about it. The WBO was laughing at him. If you're on the WBO website, I'm gonna give you some. Let me leave you on this. On the WBO website, if you're on the website and you're logged in as a user thing, whatever page you're on while you're on the site, they can track what that is. So just be mindful of that. You know what I mean? Because like I'll be checking out people's pages to see who they are as bladers, and it probably looks hella sketchy. So I'm like, who is this person? Do I know this person? Either I know them or I just want to learn who they are in bursts, or I want to know who they are in X, metal, whatever, plastics, generations type shit. So I'd be looking at people's records and shit. And I'm like, damn, I wonder if I look creepy just looking at people's records. Who knows? And just looking at people's pictures sometimes. I did that shit before. I was like, do I know this person? Have I met them? Because I'm the only other person that. Well, no, I use Zoidberg. I'm gonna go back to putting my own regular picture on the fucking website. But yeah. Anyway, long story short, Beyblade be getting wild. I mean, I'm happy that over here it's pretty tame compared to other places. Like there was somewhere I don't know if it was New York or New Jersey, but they had like a big brawl. It was stupid, bro. Like they were just like it's just adults brawling. And you think about it, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Let me leave you guys on this because it's all Beyblade related. And I got time today. I don't give a fuck. Um, Kevin Durant is a basketball player. He got drafted by the Seattle SuperSonics. He ended up playing for Oklahoma City Thunder. Played for Golden State Warriors, Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying? You name it, man. He's on Phoenix Suns right now. Kevin Durant. He had this interview a long time ago for the game of basketball. He's one of the best players, top 75. He goes, it's crazy because we get paid to play this kids game. He said we get paid to play this kids game. You think about it. You go to any park or any court, you'll find a basketball court, and it's a game that kids play. And I say the same thing with Beyblade. I'm like, it's a kids game. So like the spirit of gaming and fun should be there. All this competitive shit and like people crying over the game. I'm like, bro, it's a kids game. It's literally designed for a certain age and up, and kids can play it. Kids can participate. It just comes down to us as adults being strong enough to pull the ripcord and to whip the launcher. To try different techniques and get different builds. And because we are adults, we can afford the parts and assemble them. But it's a kids game. Let's not get that shit fucked up. If basketball players can accept, if basketball players on a high level, we're talking about real athletes, can accept that that's a kids game that they're playing and they get paid to do it and they don't take it for granted. We got to do the same thing just as practitioners of a kids game and like a place where the community should be fun and welcoming. You know what I'm saying? We should keep it that way. But I don't know, when people get egotistical, acting like they're the main character, some pro tag shit, like that shit is corny. So that shout out to I hope Lunar gets his mind right. That's that motherfucker's name. I hope Lunar gets his mind right. But yeah, don't come over here on the community shit where there's families coming to these events and acting like it's all about you or acting like you need rivals and weird shit. No, fuck all that. We're not doing that shit. So the community doesn't need to be wild. People fighting over Beyblade things and judging and yeah, people got physical over this shit. It's stupid. It's just dumb shit. It's a kid's game. Let's treat it as such. Let's enjoy ourselves. What the fuck? Like what grown people acting out. I don't know, man. It's just crazy to me. You would think if they had enough money to buy the blades and invest in it, that they would have some sense. But no, they just have enough money to still be the, little spoiled kids that they were, which is also true, which is sad. But that's a whole nother story. But my bad, Cash. I'm over here ranting because I'm thinking about adults that make it all about themselves. Shit like that. That was a weird looking car. But yeah, here we go, man. We out of here. I'm about to get on this thing right now. All right, y'all, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Peace. Yeah.